Today I'm going to show you guys step by step the best ICT gold trading strategy that is guaranteed to make you money every single time within the markets. If you do execute this strategy over the long term, because of the edge that this strategy does have, you are guaranteed to make money. So let's just jump straight in. So right here, step number one is we need a directional bias. This is probably the most important concept when it comes to trading. So we need to know when we turn up to the markets, are we looking for longs or are we simply looking for shorts? The easiest way to do that is by simply using the exponential moving averages. So the 50, the 100, and the 200 exponential moving average, if they are in order, then we can look for longs on the market. Vice versa, if they are sloping to the downside and in order, for example, the 50s on the bottom, then we will look for shorts on the market. I'll touch on that in just a moment, but please understand that we need a directional bias. It is extremely important. Step number two is our session-based liquidity sweep. So you can call this an ICT Judas swing, call it what you want. It's really just a session-based liquidity sweep where we're taking out the previous session's liquidity and then we can look for our entry schematic. So looking right here, so this is our external range liquidity. So we have that resting above, for example, the Asia high, and we also have external range liquidity resting below the Asia session low. So for example, if we are during the London or New York session, what we would be looking for if we were sell bias is we'd be looking for a raid of this buy side liquidity that's resting above the Asia session high. Then we can look for our entry schematic. So you can take this simply off a 15-minute bearish close, or if you guys are a little bit more degenerate, you can pop down to the 1 minute time frame, look for a market structure shift. So if this is the 1 minute right here, you're looking for a market structure shift, and then you can look to execute that with a more refined entry. So it looks something like this. You get your break of structure, then you can look for a lower high within the market, and then you can look to short that to the downside if you are sell biased. That's exactly what we'd be looking for, a raid, a run of sell the Asian session high, running that buy side liquidity, which is external range liquidity, and then we can look to short like that. And then vice versa, guys. So if we are long bias on this market, what we'd be looking for is a run into the lows, and then we'd look for a sweep of this external range liquidity down at the Asia session low. Once we see that, if you're looking on the smaller time frames, you're looking for a market structure shift, and then you can look for a continuation to the upside there. Once we see that break of structure, what you'll probably get is a fair value gap within here on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, depending on what time frame you're looking at. And then you can look to bid that to the upside, going with your directional bias, which is step number one, as discussed. So if you are long bias, this is what you're looking for, or you can just wait for a 15-minute bullish close, because often, the market structure will be shifting on the lower time frames anyway. So that's how we'd be looking at getting long. And then in terms of, step number three, which is our invalidations and targets. So very simply, our invalidation goes below the liquidity sweep. So if we're entering here, our invalidation goes there, below the liquidity sweep, give it a little bit of room to breathe, and then we're looking just to simply target a 1 to 2 risk to reward. And then, step number four is really the beauty of this strategy, and the beauty of using these targets is, okay, you may look to take most of your profit off at a 1 to 2 risk to reward. However, there is a lot of times where these trades will run 1 to 5, 1 to 10, etc. So if you want to incorporate a sort of partial profit-taking strategy, that also could be sensible, where you're taking, say, 80% off the table at a 1 to 2, and then you could allow a runner to run just in case you do get this continuation. Because, when we're getting these liquidity sweeps right here, these are very powerful. We're manipulating a lot of traders out of this market, and you often get powerful moves that follow this exact liquidity sweep. So this is the exact strategy. Now let's look at some live trade examples. Okay, so this is gold on the 15-minute time frame, and this is a trade that literally I took yesterday with all of the members at Toto Capital. So let's just jump straight in. So step number one is our directional bias. What you can see right here is the 50s on the bottom, the 100 EMA is in the middle, the 200 EMA is on the top. Therefore, we are sell bias on this market. We're only looking for sells. There's no need to look for any sort of longs on this market. So we're long bias. Okay, now we can get rid of the EMAs just for simplicity. So directional bias. So step number one, we're long bias. Number two, we need to see a session-based liquidity sweep. So we're entering into the New York session right here, and we're looking for a sweep of the Asian session high. You can see that's what we get right there. And then we're simply looking for an injection of bearish pressure. So we're looking for a bearish confirmation, which is what we get right here. So we can enter on the break of that candle low. Invalidation, step number three, invalidation goes above the liquidity sweep. And then we're simply looking to target around a 1 to 2. You can secure profits, partials, and then allow a small piece to run. So we're triggered in right here during the New York session. Okay. And so during the New York session, your 1 to 2 is absolutely smashed. And then price starts melting to the downside. So you can see price ultimately ran around a 1 to 6 risk to reward. So this is an absolutely incredible trade that was taken by not only myself, but also a lot of members within Toto Capital. So a great sell example on gold using the best ICT gold trading strategy. Okay, so this is also on gold on the 15-minute time frame. Step number one, directional bias. So the EMAs, again, are all in order. The 200 is on the top, the 100's in the middle, and the 50's on the bottom. Therefore, we are only looking for shorts on this market. What we can see is we have external range liquidity that's resting above this London session high right here. So we're looking for a session-based liquidity sweep, running that liquidity above the London session. So we're looking for a run of that liquidity, and then we can look for a potential short trade to the downside, given that we get our entry schematic. So that's what we're looking for right there. And we're currently within the New York session. So we get a pump into the high, so we run that external range liquidity, and then we get a bearish confirmation once we've run that buy side liquidity. So we can simply enter on the break of that candle low right there. Invalidation goes above the liquidity sweep, and then we're looking to target a 1 to 2, and then it's up to yourself if you want to leave a runner as well. So we're triggered in right here, and you can see during the New York session, take profit was hit for a 1 to 2, and then you also got some further continuation to the downside as well. So this is another great sell example on gold. You can see ultimately this trade actually ran around a 1 to 5.7 risk to reward. Okay, so this is the exact step-by-step process that you need to follow. You can see right here we had invalidation above the liquidity sweep, and then targets was just a 1 to 2 originally, but you can allow a runner to run, and ultimately this trade did run a 1 to 5.7 for a final sort of take profit area right there. If you do want to receive free analysis and free trade ideas like the one shared within this video, then make sure to join the free Discord. The link is in the description down below to stay ahead of the curve, also with upcoming YouTube videos. If you do want to become a funded and consistent trader, then transform your trading career today with the Discord access and the Momentum Mastery Blueprints course. The link is also in the description down below to join the premium community. As always, thanks for your time, guys, and I will see you in the next one. If you do have any queries, pop them down below, any questions, and I will get back to all of you guys. Thanks for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.